Get ready to gear up and get smart. SoundCheck Music Center presents Tech Talk.
Tech Talk.
A workshop dedicated to get the basics to musicians all over the universe. Held once a month at SoundCheck Music Center in Grass Valley off Highway 49 and Brunswick on Maltman Drive. Come by. Admission is free. And now, here's your host, Mike Eaton.
Let's say, like my kick mic. My kick mic would be good on a trombone, not just a kick. As opposed to, a U87, you wouldn't want to use it on that because it's so mid-rangey, it doesn't handle the bass. So condenser mics, like I was saying, very, very sensitive.
So if someone was to sing into your AKG, the drum mic,
yes,
could you use that? Could you Ray Charles your vocals with that?
Absolutely.
Is that right?
Absolutely. What you would ask. I like that.
Add a little soul to it.
Another mic, SM7. Yeah. It's just a broadcast mic. A lot like that. I mean, that can be used for broadcast, was used for broadcast. Was used for a vocal mic. They'll use it, Chili Peppers, the Chili Peppers sing. Almost all his albums. He's singing into a $350 dynamic mic, basically, that can handle the bass, but it has the presence. It has a presence bump. That's the difference. This does have a little bit of a presence bump. The presence bump, I mean, in the 6,000 to 8,000 hertz range, which really brings the lisp, and you can intelligent voice. You can really hear it. One thing that is the most important thing, especially with basic mic drum setup, is, or actually any mic setup, where you're going to be booming out the mic. You want to have the tripod. When you do have a tripod, the front tripod has to follow the microphone. That way, it cannot fall over. You have it the other way, and goodbye. Expensive mic. Keep it out of the way. Let's say the hi-hat would be, as I don't have the top finger. So the hi-hat comes up, and you want to watch with the drummer. Have him play a little before you put that mic on. You want to see how far up he's going, if he's really funking it out or not. You do not want the mic at the edge where the air would flow out to it, because it will make noise every single time. You'll hear wind noise come in. And if you had it pointed here, you're going to pick up everything else in the drum set. These mics on the sides, for this and for the ride, which I'll put over here more, as a ride, aimed away from the kit and to the side if you can. And make sure it's not going to get in the way of the drummer whatsoever. Do you have any other questions? Any questions about any other drums? Or
What kind of mic are you using right there?
I'm glad you asked. I actually make these mics.
You make those mics?
And we'll be selling these exclusively through SoundCheck Music in Grass Valley.
What are they called?
Well, we've decided on
Mike's
Mike's Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Mike's Mike.
Mike's by Mike.
The name of the company is going to be, what we have right now is Eaton Amplification.
I like it.
We were going to call these mics the Dewdrops.
Nice.
They just had a nice fresh sound. Like
That's nice.
a fresh day. The other mic we're going to be selling is this. This is basically a copy of a U87.
One of those.
Yeah, and what I'm doing, I'm upgrading the capsules. They'll have the best parts that you can get inside, but we'll keep them cost effective. Another cool mic I just wanted to show people. Now, this is a large condenser also. It's an octave. It's an older one. They used to call this the coffin mic. And it had an inherent problem. It had a grill here and a grill here that I have removed. And it had the grill plus double screen in it. And what that did is kind of killed the highs. Then they put a plastic diaphragm cover on it, which is supposed to be to bring back the highs. Well, it made it even worse. I ripped all that out, and inside it resonated. It gave you bass when you sang into it. It resonated a certain frequency. So basically put silicone inside to kill all that. This is a cost-effective. You can find these mics. They have great mid-range electric guitar amps. Put them on the front of a kit, maybe even low if you want to put them if you have a large enough room, 15 feet in front of the kick, just it picks it up, and it gives such a cool mid-range character to it. The diaphragms aren't bad; they're all gold sputtered diaphragms. You can get them for like $50. This is a Neumann M149, and this is a large diaphragm multi-pattern. And what I mean by multi-pattern, usually you'll see 3 patterns on mics. This one has 5, and what it gives you is figure 8. Which is figure 8, basically it's going to be really narrow in the front, back to really narrow in the back. So it's going to pick it up from both sides. That can come in handy with 2 singers, picking up just a real narrow part of the guitar, and the room sound in the back is nice. So you're going to pick up some ambience at the same time. Kind of using the room is a tool for reverb. The next one's going to be a hypercardioid, and what that does is it gives you a little bump in the back where it'll pick up a little bit, but it's a tighter pattern than a cardioid pattern. So it's going to come out kind of like a cardioid mushroom, but a little bit of a pop in the back. Cardioid just gives you complete back rejection, which means anything in the back here, you're not going to pick up. And then you have almost omni, I call it, and then omni. Omni's going to pick it up all the way around. 360. You have 5 people singing, 1 guy playing guitar, you just want to put 1 mic up and record. This is the mic. This will pick it up, this will pick up everything. If you look at the paperwork that I brought in, and if you look at which I just did a basic mic, SM58. Everybody knows SM58. They've been around forever. Vocals, guitar amps, how about anything? SM57, same thing. Some people love it for vocal mics, some people love it for miking up the guitar amp and cranking in a Marshall stack into it, because it just has almost everything you need. That's such a versatile all-around mic. So if you look at this, you have a bump, and if you look at the frequency range, it's between, it really bumps up into the 4 to 7 range, and then it'll give you a little bit of a dip, which is basically in the sibilance range, 7K is where you get the lists. You get that really bad, where you have, okay, that's this singer's lisping so much, bring in the de-essers because you're going to need it. This is going to give you a little bit of that rejection. That's why everybody loves it for a vocal mic. But then it still gives you a little bit more of a bump after that, and then rolls off. But what's great is the whole mid-range frequency. I know it's hard to see on there, but it's flat, and then it rolls off right around 100. And that's what you want for a vocal. There's no fundamentals down there that are going to add anything to your voice that you need. Your fundamentals are in your mid-range and really in the, I like to, when I'm doing EQing, doing a mix, the 5,000 to 8,000 range. That's really going to bring something out in the vocal. Don't touch EQ until you move the mic or change the mic. If the mic's not right for that N149, it might work on everybody, and then one person comes in, wrong. Bring in a 58, bring in a SM7, bring in a TLM 103. Those are great. There's a whole bunch of other mics that you could use for vocals, and we're going to discuss that on the next months. The last thing I wanted to show you on the drums was we had the XY here. And how you want to do that is you have to get one of them on top of the other and make sure that they're perfectly aligned, because what that's going to give you is a perfect stereo image. And when you pan it, in, you're not going to lose any frequencies. You're not going to hear any phasing. The change in that is, if you go to space pair, let's say this was a single mic, and space pair, you want to go more out, this way. For this side of the drum set, you want it to go out this way. What that gives you, it gives you stereo, really wide. But it's not perfect, so you are going to get phasing. So you have to use your pan to bring it in and out to find the sweet spot. What's great about overheads is you're not looking so much as trying to get the bottom, the kick. You can filter those out as you bring the other drums in. You want this to be the overall sound of your drums. And one other mic that you might have to bring in, let's say this is all working, but you want to tie it, you do the space pair, but it's still a little bit loose. It's still too wide. You bring a large condenser. Here, I'll grab this one. And you would bring it back. Three feet from the drums, or further. I like to use some kind of absorption behind it, just for the fact that you're not going to get anything from behind coming back if there's a wall there. And you do a mono mic, and what that does, it ties everything in. And you're so far back, and it's a large diaphragm, so it's going to pick up the lower frequencies, the higher frequencies, and you blend that in
It's still in
as,
stereo.
as needed. It's still in, it's going to be perceived, but what you're picking up is the stuff that isn't going to be in, that you probably wouldn't want in stereo. Kick, snare, toms, yeah, you're going to be panning the toms, but you never want to go all the way hard panning anything. You're just going to lose it. It's going to be way too far on the side. Plus, where's a drummer sitting when you're playing? I mean, his drums are right there. He's not running across the stage going do 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 do. So you can't pan it that way.
No.
Even though Neil Peart will probably disagree with me on that. Suppose the hemisphere's out. Anyways,
How far should that wall be behind that mic? Where you
well,
said you put it out
far
3
as you
feet.
can. I say that you want to be close as you can to the middle of a room, but you don't want to be in the middle. If you're going to be closer to one wall, it'd be the wall behind you. You want to have more air out in front. There's just more energy coming out from the kick than behind it. And going 15 feet out, I mean, you have to judge what you're going for the sound that you're trying to lock in. If you're not in a very good room, then you want to keep it tighter. You want to use less mics, couple overheads, and put a mic for the room. It'll, even though the room might be small, it will add a sense of space and a little bit of ambience to it. But I think that'll cover it. I want to thank you for coming to our first sound check. I guess monthly shot. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. If you have any questions.
What are we going to be talking about next month, Mike?
Next time, we're going to be talking about vocal chains and what's involved with the vocal chain, from the microphone to the compressor to the preamp, all the way to the recording medium. And yeah, it'll be fun.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.